of two mothers who bring their case to King Solomon. The king knew that on day in question, in the middle of the night, two prostitutes slept peacefully with their newborns tucked in their arms. The newborns aren't named in the Bible, but we'll call them Mona and Lena. Mona woke that night to discover she laid on her child, smothering it. Very distraught, she heard Lena's baby softly cooing in its sleep.
Mona! Mona! What are you going to do without your child, your only precious son? Go and steal Lena's baby and no one will find out.
Mona, do you really want to put grief upon Lena? This is your own mistake, and stealing Lena's child will not soothe your broken heart. Just sit tight, be patient, and all will be well.
Nonsense. Utter nonsense. That sappy story almost touched me for a moment there. Lena's fast asleep. No one will find out. Just steal her baby.
Stop it! I finally made up my mind. I'm going to do it.
Good choice.
You can turn back now, otherwise you'll regret it for the rest of your life.
Mona quietly stepped over to Lena, took Lena's sleeping baby and placed her own dead baby in Lena's arms. Now Mona reasoned she wouldn't have to suffer the loss of her own child.
Whoa! Have you heard about King Solomon? How Jehovah God appeared to him in a dream and said, "What do you want? Ask and I will give it to you." Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what would you ask for?
What? I would ask for the world-famous three-pointed star of Daimler Morton gel shaft with the celebrated name Mercedes-Benz. Oh yes, 2018 plate.
Shush! Jehovah God said to King Solomon, I will give you what you ask for. I will give you a wise and understanding heart so that no one else has had or ever will have. No other king will be compared to you for the rest of your life. And if you obey my decrees and my commands, I will give you a long life.
Come on, King Solomon. You should have asked for the latest thing like the iPhone X.
Shush! King Solomon replied, give me an understanding heart so that I will govern your people well and know the difference between right and wrong. For who by himself is able to govern these great people of yours? Guess what Jehovah God said?
Well said, King Solomon. Wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Proverbs 10, verse 1. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish son brings grief to his mother. Proverbs 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Come on, quickly, get in.
is for history, my way. Today, God decides.
No!
Give my child back!
It's not my child!
You are
You killed your child last
Ladies!
night.
Ladies! Silence. Women, what appears?
Your Honor, Your Majesty, Mona and I lived together. I had a healthy baby boy, and 3 days later, Mona had a son also. Usually my baby cries out of hunger, but that morning I slept long. No cries woken me. I woke up to find my son still sleeping. I tried to nudge him because it was well past his eating time, but something was terribly wrong. He wouldn't respond to my touch. I picked him up, shaking him gently to awaken him, but he was so cold. I panicked, trying to revive him, but he was dead. He was dead, Your Majesty. I just held on to him, crying wildly, not wanting to put his stiff, cold body away from me. Gradually, I calmed down and looked closely at him. I wanted to burn every detail of his lovely face in my mind. In checking him out, I realized that baby is not my child. It was too small and had too much hair, and it sure looked like Mona's son.
That was not my son. My son is in my arms.
Quiet, Mona. You shall have your turn to speak. Lena, go on.
Your Majesty, they're not witnesses to prove what I'm saying. We were the only two people that night. I can only plead with you that child Mona is holding today is my child.
And what do you have to say for yourself, Mona?
Lena gave birth to a child, a son. I helped her. 3 days later, Lena returned the favor, helping me deliver my child. Even neighbors were there to help and celebrate both births.
It is true. We were there to witness and celebrate both births. You should have seen Mona's baby. It had such beautiful long hair and a lovely smile. But her child was very small. Lena's child was chubby and cried a lot.
The other morning, I woke much earlier than Lena. I thought it was strange that her baby hadn't stirred when my son had cried. I was contentedly nursing my son when I suddenly heard Lena scream. I couldn't imagine what was wrong. I jumped up to go to her, and I saw her shaking her baby wildly. But the baby never cried, no matter how hard she shook him or spanked him. Suddenly, she broke down, hysterically screaming out. I must have rolled over him in bed, smothering him. I went and picked him up. He was cold and he was stiff. His life was gone. But even as I felt sorry for Lena, I was thankful that my son was alive and nursing. He is such a joy. Lena's grief must be affecting her mind to make up such a story that she's telling. That was my son that was dead, and I'm now holding her child.
Your Majesty, what Mona is saying is wrong. The living child is mine, and that child is hers. See? You're angry because the child is clearly yours. The king will never be able to find out who the rightful mother is. Just look at her in those pleading eyes. She is such a liar. Go and snatch your baby and run away as fast as possible. Surely that's a good idea.
Don't listen to him. The plan will fail drastically, and it's not even been thought through properly. Don't doubt the king. He will find a solution from the wisdom of God. Just sit tight, be patient, and all will be well.
So you're telling me she should just sit tight and wait till her baby goes away with Mona? That's a good idea. No! Go and snatch your baby and run away as fast as possible. Surely that's a good idea.
No, just sit tight and wait for the verdict. Otherwise, if you run away with the baby, it will look like you're the liar. King Solomon is a man of wisdom.
Just stop bickering. I'm going to have to wait for the verdict. I'm going to have to trust on King Solomon's wisdom.
No, the dead child is yours. The living child
Ladies, stop that fighting right now. One of you says the dead child is yours and the living child is mine. The other says no, the living child is mine, the dead child is yours. I must go off and consider the evidence, what little there is of it. O God, I ask you for wisdom, and this is the case you give me to test your gift. Where is your wisdom now? How on earth or in heaven can I resolve such a case? Where is your wisdom now? Oh, thank you, God, for such wisdom. I think I know now how to determine who the rightful mother of this child is and who is the liar. I shall go out to these squabbling women and settle this now.
Oh, your majesty, know that this child is mine.
No, the child is mine. Please.
Take the sword and divide the living child in two.
Do not kill him, please, your majesty, please. Let the living child live, please. Please, your majesty. Mona can have him, your majesty, please, please. Please, your majesty. You can have him, do not kill him, please.
Oh, your majesty, don't listen to her. Go ahead. Let this child be neither hers nor mine. Divide it, then neither of us will have a child. We'll be equal again.
Lower that sword and remove it from the courtroom and send the child of Lena, for she is the child's mother. Only a real mother will go through the sacrifice of seeing her child with someone else rather than seeing him slain by the sword. The words of these women have told me the truth. Take this one away.
Thank you. Thank you, your majesty. Thank you, your majesty. Thank you. Go.
Court adjourned.
Check. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2.